because
You
there's some
said
crazy
something.
spoilers.
You said something to me that I found interesting. You said that you enjoyed Halo Episode 7 more than this movie. Now, I know you were really looking forward to this movie, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it to you.
Mhm.
We're going to go whatever direction you want to go, my friend.
Yeah. Overall, 6.8 out of 10, mostly because I didn't jive well with the Raimi vision. Like it just I didn't like the jump scares, like I mean there's some weird prosthetic makeup that is not
Mm.
good where like in Halo, like their live action like non-CGI effects and costuming and props are really good looking. This one looked all Disney magic stage. I was not transported, right? And I'm not saying that Halo does that for me, but the Northman transported me. The Batman transported me,
Okay.
right?
I
This
can
one
see that, yeah.
failed to transport me. Weirdly, with so many characters that have the power of transportation, but yeah,
But
6.8 out of 10. So it was just direction and vision is like, all right, I didn't like that style because it
Sure.
was just jarring.
Okay. How do you feel, Mikey? Do you
I
agree?
I really enjoyed this. I think I said at the end after watching, I was like, I'd put this in the same camp as the first Doctor Strange. It's an enjoyable watch. It's not super, at least as far as I'm aware. It doesn't set up a giant overarching theme. Um, for me, it didn't really answer the questions that I wanted to be answered regarding the shows that we've watched on Disney Plus. But I think you can enjoy this movie, especially if you like a more dark theme. Uh, Side story is a good way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it. I'd give it like an 8.
I was a little disappointed. I enjoyed it, but I think there was just so much hype. And like I didn't follow any of the hype. I just kept on hearing how this movie was going to be crazy. It's going to do all these things, blah blah blah. And like I tried to avoid that stuff. I do. I don't want to go into a movie. I didn't watch any of the trailers. I don't like doing that. It's just like I would rather just go in, experience it because like I'm looking for that end game feeling again. I'm looking for that
Yeah,
10 years
Spider-Man.
to build it up.
yeah,
I'm looking no Spider-Man even.
Yeah. Sorry,
You know, like
I don't mean to cut you off.
Spider-Man even though. You know, like I'm looking for those moments. And like if I was on YouTube every single day watching theories of like how Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were coming back, probably wouldn't have been as awesome for me. I was gonna say amazing, but I felt like that was too on the nose.
yeah,
Um,
totally.
But
with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I was expecting more. I really was because people are have from what I had heard, like we're waiting for something to happen to really kick Phase 4 in, right?
Mhm.
And this is supposed to be it, at least from my understanding.
That's what I assumed.
Do I feel like they accomplished that? Barely,
Mm.
barely. Um, could they have done more? Yes, but like taking a step back, just at looking at it as a movie individually, you know, not looking at it as like the entire universe
Oh,
of Marvel. I enjoyed the movie. It was fine. I do agree with Derek though. The Raimi verse part, the Raimi scenes. I actually enjoyed those scenes, but I felt like there were two directors in this movie. Um, and there, it was like oil and water. They just weren't mixing, even though, and that's a really bad comparison because I enjoyed both of them. Um, you know, just two things that, you know, go together that didn't go together in this aspect where, you know, when we had the horror scenes, I was like, this is awesome. I'm really enjoying this. What I wish they would have done is gone full Raimi or not Raimi at all. Because it kind of threw me out of it a little bit and it wanted like I was expecting more horror, but then it's like, okay, we're going this route. Okay, less horror. Oh, here's the horror. It's like I didn't know. I felt conflicted. I felt like there were too many hands in the kitchen, so to speak. Um, as of the overall story, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was pretty decent. This is a spoiler podcast. We're gonna jump right into it. Um, I did like how they, I mean, immediately just jump into the movie. It's kind of like what you said too, Mikey. Just it's another Doctor Strange movie, and this one really focuses on Doctor Strange, which was Interesting.
I think the best part of it.
Yeah, yeah. This new character, America Chavez, is that her name? She was fine. I she was okay. She did her job. Wanda Maximoff, can't go wrong. I mean, I have such a crush on her anyway, so it's like I'm biased, but she did fantastic as a protagonist, and it was believable. To an extent, it is believable. This is a fractured woman, obviously. That's meddling with things that she probably shouldn't meddle with, and it's probably playing into those things that she fears, and she fears the loss of her boys, and fear makes you do crazy things. Um, it's interesting, like from a therapy perspective too, like how she came to terms with letting them go. Like she had to make that decision, and so like I'm really happy that how they wrote that. But overall, the Illuminati was my favorite scene. That's all I have to say for now. Derek, you said you really didn't enjoy this movie. Why don't you go into a little bit more detail?
I said that it was jarring.
Okay.
I didn't enjoy the lens of the movie. I like the plot. Like all the themes of the plot make sense. Like Stephen Strange learning to put the scalpel down or hand it off to somebody else, like learning to utilize teamwork and whatever. Like that's important because that was a big aspect of Doctor Strange. The first movie was that he was kind of a like house-like character, bit of a arrogant prick.
Egocentric.
Yeah, egocentric. Um, so like there were themes there, right? And then like his love and him getting over that and probably learning how to move on, and then um Wanda with the same thing. We get a really nice like end, an eclipse to that WandaVision arc of her grieving, not only over Vision, but now over the death of her made up kids. But the way she made them, I mean, it seemed pretty real. So, like, I can understand her
Wasn't there that
emotions.
comment in the movie too? That's how children are made, is magic. Something like that.
Yeah. Like that's what I mean. Like some of the writing I actually really liked in this, but then like it would be like, okay, now we need to do a goofy like Terminator-esque chase where the heroes are going to go through this series of tunnels and they're going to close them. They're going to be completely ineffective. So they're going to try to close them again and then stand there and watch and wait for Wanda to break through. Like there's just a lot of like that Raimi horror-esque stuff that I went, this is, I mean, this would be cool for a horror movie, but I'm in here in the MCU. I want to know why Doctor Strange and Wanda. What is the Nexus event that has caused all this? How does this relate to Loki and what Sylvie did? Like, I want to know the overall MCU thing. Whereas, like, this felt a lot like what Far From Home, No Way Home, uh, Falcon Winter Soldier has been like, where it's like, well, we're in the buffer zone. We're not there yet. We have to wait. We're just kind of setting up all the characters and where they're at before we get to the big all together Avengers movie or movie-esque type thing.
Now, Mikey,
That's what it felt like to me.
I feel like you probably have the most knowledge, like comics wise, of where they're going. This is going to Secret Wars, right?
Couldn't tell you, and I actually
Okay.
don't have that vast of a knowledge with the comics. So
Okay, I thought you knew more
Power
on
of
like
Google.
the Secret Wars
Nah,
Spider-Man stuff. But okay.
I think Secret Wars is with the scrolls. If I'm remembering correctly, but no, I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Derek, what did you like?
Anything Wanda, like when she was killing people, even people I liked, I was like, you shouldn't have fucked around. Talk shit, get hit. Like I was whooping. I've never whooped louder or harder in a movie theater than I did for John Krasinski. I don't know what it is about the man,
Yeah, he is. Ooh.
but seeing him on screen in that outfit, in that character, to me, was one of my favorite things. And that's what I mean is like this movie had a lot of those really cool moments that you should go to a theater to experience, but the rest of it is just kind of a basic movie. And I think I had heard someone, I was listening to Double Toasted, which is a great podcast, but one of them said it's like we were done with Iron Man and Thor. We've kind of went through all of those main big hot storylines. And we still have Spider-Man to burn, I guess, but now we're getting down to the D list characters, and it's like it's going to be harder. It's going to be very difficult to get people to care because like at what point is like Moon Knight not like another Batman? Do you know what I mean? Like to a casual non-comic individual.
Yeah.
Everything has its
Okay.
end. I turned to Mikey at the end of the movie and I said, everything dies. Everything has its cycle, and I feel like this might be one of the first big like indicators that the MCU is waning.
I do feel like it is waning a bit. I get that sense too. And maybe that's why like I was expecting more. I honestly was expecting X-Men, and I know we saw Xavier. Yeah, it's fine.
But
We even
did
got
we?
that. No, that wasn't Xavier. That was just Patrick Stewart.
That's Xavier.
No.
Oh
it's
yeah, yeah. That's not what I was getting at. I was getting at like, well, they're all dead. So is
On
that
that
the
universe.
is that the Xavier
Well-
from the X-Men that we know, or is that just another multiverse where they look the same? Same
It's
thing
gotta be a
with Reed
multiverse.
Richards, right? Like if that's the only time we get John Krasinski in the MCU, I am going to shed tears. I would
can agree
love to
with that
see how
too.
he plays Reed Richards, but then
Him
you have to
and
do
his
another
wife should be-
you have to do another Fantastic Four movie, and those don't have a great track record. So
I'm
maybe
almost positive that I saw a thing on Twitter today, or maybe even in the past 2 days or so. I don't know. It's been weird. That they're already directing a Fantastic Four movie. That's already set in stone.
yeah.
See, if it were me, I would actually pull the Civil War card and bring in them like they brought in Spider-Man. Just kind of bring them in and then go do their own movie. That's my way of how I would
I think
introduce them. But
I think that's kind of how they're doing. Like that, America Chavez like brought her up. Like that's kind of what they're doing there.
Yeah,
I think she's going to be very influential. Like she's going to be a very big character because
Yeah.
she can go through universe or multi universes. So
I have
She'll
never
be-
heard of this lady before. Have either of you?
no.
in like
She
old
knew?
video games, like I remember her being a choosable character, and I never ever chose it. I
What's
remember
her
that.
character name? I kind of want to look her up.
Kirby.
It's America Chavez.
That's her superhero name.
I don't know. I think she's like one of the 4 Marvel women. I don't
Marvelettes.
know.
No, yeah, I think she's gonna be a great
Is
resource for whatever
Ms.
the next
America.
Avengers are. For her to be like, I know of a person, boom, Kirby star, and they pull them through.
Yeah, her name is Miss America.
Yeah, so Ms. Marvel, Ms. whatever.
Captain
Yeah.
Marvel. What's stretchy arm
Captain
ladies?
Marvel, Ms. Marvel. Her name's Ms. Marvel. Captain
Yeah.
Marvel, Ms. Marvel, and Miss America.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, she looks silly.
Yeah, she punches stars, baby.
Hey,
Alright.
punching stars makes a hell of a lot more sense than like using music notes to fight somebody.
Oh,
I
That
thought
shit
was
that
weird.
scene was I thought that scene was cool. I thought it was interesting. It's
That's
different.
like the jar. Yeah,
It-
interesting
I-
and different. Not MCU, and it wasn't funny. Like that's the thing
I-
that made me sad is like it didn't feel like an MCU superhero movie. It felt like a DC superhero movie. It was weird.
Weird.
yeah, I laughed at how cringy that was. The power of music. All right.
Bong. You should have played.
And then
Shakespeare.
they use like popular
Shakespeare,
classical
Beethoven.
pieces, and it just Derek heard me. I giggled. I was like, what is going on? What are we doing?
Yeah. So like it's
Dude, and
jarring.
it-
I don't think it's bad. I think it is creative and interesting. I just don't think it's weird that it just doesn't feel like the Doctor Strange I saw in No Way Home, which didn't really feel like the Doctor Strange I had seen in Endgame. So like
Yeah.
it's just getting weird.
Like I just put 2 and 2 together. It's going from a scene as hardcore as all of the Illuminati dying to him fighting with GD music notes and the guy countering with a bar staff to catch the music notes to send back. Where are we? What are we doing? I guess it was a different universe, multiverse.
It's like
So
Green Lantern. It's like Green Lantern
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, dude. It's like Battle of
Blech.
Bands. They were just
Oh no! Don't show me a dude's head going kaploop and then music note fight.
All right, so let's break down that a little bit more because like we got Peggy Carter, Captain Britain, Captain UK. What's her
She
name?
I
looks
don't know
good.
who she is.
I liked her outfit. Her
Yeah,
live action
she's
outfit's
fine.
way better than the cartoon one.
I enjoyed her dying. I thought that was awesome.
What is her
I
name?
mean, they just went there, man. They just killed them all. Reed Richards dying, turning into Play-Doh. That was sad.
Ribbons?
Gonna
And then
talk shit. I
explode
don't know
his
what the
head?
fuck they were thinking. They didn't look at the cameras. Like this crazy big society that the Illuminati that they know so much and they protect the multiverse. They don't have like, oh yeah, we should like maybe keep an eye out on Wanda. She's one of the most powerful people on the planet. And then when someone comes in going, "Hey, your Wanda's probably gonna do some crazy shit," like they don't. Again, it's like Moon Knight, where they're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna disregard that because we don't like you." Even though we show that your death and you were actually a good guy in the end. Like you were like probably neutral good and you probably did some bad shit, but it's weird that they didn't like trust this Strange. It's I don't know. It was weird. Strange. Doctor Strange.
Strange. Yeah.
Um, were you guys a little disappointed that we didn't see more multiverse like people?
I was satisfied with that. Like seeing the people we saw, I was like, this is cool. I don't know who this guy is. I'm gonna go look that up. Like there was a lot of interesting stuff that I was pretty satisfied with the multiverse stuff.
I would just echo what you've said. I'm disappointed that it didn't set up or like continue on any of the other stories that have already been told the past 2 years or 3 years.
Eternals.
Yeah, anything. Eternals, Moon Knight. I mean, WandaVision kind of it did, but White Vision doesn't show up, so where did he go? Still don't know. Hawkeye, Celestials, or excuse me, Eternals. It was a good
I feel
side story.
I feel bad for the people because again, this like a wrestling thing where most people just only watch Raw and they don't watch the other smaller
Uh
shows
huh.
of WWE. Like I feel bad for the people that didn't watch WandaVision and then got jumped into this movie. Because
Yeah,
like it starts and
yeah.
Doctor Strange is running with some chick and he looks way different. Like even I went, what? What's going? Oh, okay, maybe it's just his dream sequence. Okay, all right, whatever. Interesting way to start, but okay. Because like the first scene of a movie should be like the thing that sets the tone, right? You got Guy Ritchie doing these awesome fucking movies like Snatch and stuff where they start out crazy and big. You've got Nolan starting out Dark Knight with an awesome Joker thing. You know what I mean? Like that's how you should start a movie. You start a movie with him like waking up from a dream. It's like I don't know. I don't know. Sam Raimi, I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like his version of what they presented. But overall I'm okay with what they presented because of what might happen in the future.
Yeah, if you haven't watched WandaVision, I don't know what you would remember from like Wanda's story except for what happened in Endgame with her being pissed at Thanos. I don't even know who you are, right? Like that's the last thing. So then what, she has kids and she's evil? I guess maybe that's the intent is like, oh, if you didn't watch WandaVision, here's a reason to so you can understand why she's the antagonist in this movie. Really
Yeah,
strange. Doctor
I
Strange.
think people would be very very lost without watching that show. Now that I think about it. Um, hmm. I was just looking up the upcoming movies for Marvel, and like, yeah, I really thought that this was gonna be the movie that like really set us up, and it hasn't. So like, we got Thor: Love and Thunder, July 8th. Wakanda Forever is November 11th. Ant-Man and
I
the
bet that gets
Wasp
delayed by the
is
way.
February 17th. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is May 5th. And then we have the Marvels, which is July 28th. And Fantastic Four does not have a release date, but is only a matter of time before we finally get the Marvel Cinematic Universe version, blah, blah, blah. Revealed that John Watts, director of the MCU Spider-Man trilogy, had come aboard to direct the reboot of Fantastic Four, but he stepped away, film, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, um, when do we see things start to happen? Like, what movie is it going to be?
I couldn't tell
Got
you.
me. You got me.
Ant-Man?
That's of those movies you just like stated. I'm actually the most excited for that one because there's heavy rumors that Kang is going to be involved. It's the Quantum Verse, makes sense. So it's like, okay, I'm super excited for that. I want to see that. because of Kang, mostly because of like that Loki character. I want to see his evil versions. I want to see that.
Okay.
Everything else, I mean, Thor, I guess, is the next thing. So it's like, okay, we'll see. I hope it's really,
Well,
really
let's
good.
see, because like
What
TV shows?
confused me is when America punches and she goes into, well, I guess not where she goes into, it's where the book is stored. I swear in the movie they say that's the like where Kang is residing, essentially, like the middle, the hub between all of the multiverses. Am I nuts? Did they say
No,
that?
that's not where. That's not where the because he's not Kang. The guy at the end of Loki isn't Kang. It's just one of his alters.
That's yeah.
The
He's
guy
been
at the
called
is
that.
the one who survived or whatever. It's
Remains.
some yeah. The who remains or something. He lives outside of time. This is stupid comic book shit. This is weird. Like I couldn't explain this. Like if I ever get a girlfriend, like, it's not gonna like I'm not ever gonna even try because they're not gonna get it. He's outside of time. Like he's inside of the time loop. Whereas this place is in between all of the universi.
Wait, I thought that's where he was too, because he writes
No.
multiple.
No, because at the end of Loki when he gets like stabbed or whatever, like all of the branches start like colliding and stuff. Like you remember at the beginning of that last Loki episode where there were like 3 timelines and they all got mushed together?
Uh-huh.
Or maybe it was even in Doctor Strange when he was like doing the spell. Like all of that stuff. Yeah, so he's outside of time. He's at the end of all time because time is a flat circle. So he's like there. He's in this absence world, nothingness world that can see the time loop. I don't know how to explain it because I'm a human. I'm a tiny little brained human. But but yeah, this person is not in that spot. Or this book is not in that spot. This book is in another realm. It's in one of Doctor Strange's realms. Yeah. I don't know how to
And
explain
then the
some of
Watcher?
but
looking at TV shows.
and the Watcher is outside of everything. The Watcher is basically not
goes
in our
between-
world, but in the TV screen. So anything anything that any human at any point in time is watching and they know that the Watcher is also watching, he's watching. He's kind of like the god that exists because you know that he's there. And that's it. Because he just watches. He just basically does nothing except for in What If.
He walks between multiverses in What If.
Right.
And then Ultron. I don't. Yeah.
The character was. I was like, "What do you do?" I watch. Great. So do we. That's what we do.
We are the Watchers. Yeah.
So as the TV shows go, we've got June 8th is going to be Ms. Marvel. We've got mid 2022 is supposed to be She-Hulk. By the way, Ms. Marvel, there's no one in the cast that I recognize. She-Hulk, there's Mark Ruffalo, and I don't recognize anyone else. Tim Roth.
Yeah. Tim Roth. I like him.
I don't recognize the rest. And then we have Secret Invasion, which is to be announced 2022. That's going to have Sam Jackson. It's going to have Ben Mendelsohn, Kingsley Benadir, and Amelia Clark. X-Men 97. I don't know what that is. As Wolverine. Is this animated?
I'm almost certain that it's a reshoot of the original series.
That's exactly what it is. Okay. I don't think we see X-Men until then, and that's premiere date 2023.
Well, I'm just excited because like those like that and the Fantastic Four movie to me goes, oh, okay, cool. So we like Marvel would not do this unless like John Krasinski in the next 2 years gets like found out for being a predator or something. Right. He will be Reed Richards in this universe, and like with Kang being like confirmed by Marvel people, like it's like okay, like we saw him like on the back of Moon Knight. I don't know if people watch the stuff I watch, but Kang is pretty much gonna happen. We all know this. It's all time. It's all based on time. And Reed Richards is like Kang's great grandfather in the comics or some shit. So it just makes sense. They're gonna have. He's gonna be Reed Richards. I'm not worried about that. I think it would be unless some crazy outside real life thing happens.
So these are all to be announced or the dates, but they have been announced. We have Ironheart. Cast is Dominique Thorne. It's the only person so far. We have Armor
Um.
Wars with Don
Oh, that's
Cheadle.
the one. Yeah, Don Cheadle is the
Cheadle.
War Machine,
Mm-hmm.
or the other
Mm-hmm.
one.
Yeah, he's War Machine.
Well, America Machine now. What Patriot? Iron Patriot.
Iron Patriot, War Machine, both are played by
They
him.
have I Am Groot, which
Oh God.
is actually being developed by James Gunn.
No, I hope that whole show
Okay.
is just
All right.
I am Groot.
Yeah. Okay.
Anchored around Baby Groot himself. James Gunn will
I am Groot.
executive produce I Am Groot. So I don't think he's going to direct it. And then we have Loki season 2, which we only know Tom Hiddleston for sure is going to be back. And yeah,
Gotta have Sylvie.
I
Like
agree.
you can't yeah, I wouldn't want to watch second season with Tom Hiddleston.
This is just what I'm
only.
reading from Collider.
Okay. Yeah, so it seems like the next couple of years is gonna be a lot of stuff. Like you said, like you want an next end game, that's what they're building. It's gonna take time.
Yeah.
Keep going though.
When was
give me a
was it
moment.
Endgame 2019?
Yeah, so 11
Whoop!
years.
We're 3
Right, I
years
mean-
in, and I don't know. I don't know.
We're in Thor the Dark World area, right?
Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
I think
Bruce Campbell being in the movie was fun for me. That's maybe the only Raimi thing that I really liked. That I
Stop.
popped for that. I liked that a lot. I even liked the end, the very last end credit scene. I liked that too. Because I
It's
was like,
finally
okay,
over.
that was silly, but that's the Raimi silliness that I was like, okay, that's fine. That's acceptable at the end. Happy 11/11, everybody.
I feel they just have such an upward battle because we've now been groomed for, well, not now, but when Endgame had released, right, when that Infinity Wars duo came out, we had been groomed for 10 years of this overarching storyline. And now we expect that with every single movie that comes out, every TV show, and we look and we analyze to find how they interweave, and it's tainted us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like my overall enjoyment of the movie, like if I was just judging that movie alone, like unfortunately I have no choice. It's so much tied to the other films. Like I can't just watch Doctor Strange and that movie and understand anything. As a typical movie series should be. Like you have to kind of be immersed in the MCU to understand. Like you can't go into the world of comics and pick up like volume 7 and then have them reference something from volume 5 and then, like
Yeah.
Yeah, in the MCU now it's like if you're not studying, you're being left behind.
Forgive me, I had Indian food not agreeing with me, so I had an emergency.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Thanks. Somewhere in the multiverse, I'm dealing with Indian food somewhere else too, so I don't feel so bad.
We talk about how Wong's hair changed from really straight, like normally like my hair, how I usually do my hair, which is like very shortcut, but it's like it's combable, right? He had that at the beginning of the movie, and then at the end of the movie, it was like half buzz cut, half that. Like it was like,
I
where's
didn't
the
catch that.
continuity? Like that's there's small things. I was never transported, and I was always like, I'm in a movie theater right now.
You know what scene I actually cannot wait for people way smarter about this stuff to break down more than any scene is when he's going through the multiverses for the first time and he goes like through like at least 12. There's got to be some multiverses in there that are recognizable, and like that's interesting to me. Like there's the paint one, that one's just probably like a fun one. But
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I mean, I will
Are we
say
gonna
that
get good guy Thanos?
no.
No.
Are we gonna get good guy Thanos?
I don't. Was there anything from What If in this movie?
Yeah, Captain Britain.
What? Oh
Well,
yeah. But I don't know if that's
I
the
would
the,
say
the
I would
same
say
Captain
no.
Carter from What If. That could just be another
Yeah.
multiverse
I would say
Captain
no
Carter.
because isn't like didn't in this movie Multiverse Madness didn't they go to a cartoon world?
Yeah, when they're like falling through all this
That has
stuff.
to be Spider Ham.
So like I would assume, right, that Captain Carter would still be a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything straight from What If.
Do we get Iron Man back? Do we get all these characters back as different actors?
Not with how they crushed Wanda at the very end. I think they're getting rid of the old cast.
Do you think
That
Wanda's done, huh?
well, I mean,
It's a possibility she could come back, but
I think it's open ended.
yeah, that they could bring her back if they wanted to, but they could also write it off as no, she's dead if they never see the need to bring her back.
Because like walls crumbling in on Wanda wouldn't kill her.
No,
However,
yeah,
if Wanda self-destructed or self-imploded, then yeah, I could believe that would do it, right? But we don't know, so it's like okay, well, I hope you come back because I mean, you brought up a good point after the thing, Mikey. It's like, where was White Vision? Where was Vis? And I was like, yes, where is Vis?
You
We
would
need him
think
back.
he would be in this movie because Wanda's in this
Oh,
movie.
think
Nah. Landon, did you ever see the Black Vision memes? Oh my.
Vision.
Vishon. Oh yeah, not Vis. Vishon. That's right. My bad. I wanted to see
He
more
should have been.
Vishon.
Yes, he should have been in another multiverse.
Like,
Honestly, oh, go ahead.
sorry, I'm gonna make a joke. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I would have put in a line, right? A deleted scene, right? I
Oh my
think Wanda
gosh, it's
says.
amazing. It's the Rock.
Yep. Pretty.
Like,
Oh yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah.
close.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Deshaun?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wanted because I think Wanda says, "Do your kids have another parent?" And then somebody go, "Oh, I think
It's
she's
Reed
talking actually
Richards.
Reed Richards." Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do they have a mother? They do. Oh, good. There'll be somebody there. Like a good retort would have been like, "Oh yeah, where's your baby daddy?" And then like it just cuts to Vishon.
Deshaun.
Nah, I don't do that. That would be really funny.
Yeah, I thought for a minute it was gonna be
Game
like
adulting.
Vision showed up to stop her from going cuckoo bananas when she's visiting another multiverse. And the kids work, don't get me wrong. How they wrote it, where she finally realizes, like, oh crap, I'm being the bad guy.
Yeah.
I just thought it was going to be Vision, but then they went a different route. And I don't
I'm
think
in
it's
a
bad.
weird place of the internet right now. I don't like this.
Yeah, you're going to find some Rule 34 stuff real quick.
Got
Vishon
Buzz Lightskin over here.
was so good.
I don't know how I got here.
You looked up Vishon.
I sure did. Oh my gosh. Stepdad Vishon, y'all mom told you to go to bed, didn't she? Oh no.
Vishon was great.
Oh no.
And then what was even funnier is the White Vision memes against Vishon. So they brought in the whole race element. It was hilarious.
Oh no, there is a guy named Vision Williams,
Mm.
Stop it.
football player.
Trying to think of anything else in the movie. Like that's the problem is that like there was good stuff that happened. I just don't really remember it because of the vehicle that it was given to me and like the lens I was viewing it through.
They're getting to the point where anything can happen, especially with a character that can just punch walls through the multiverse and
Yeah.
do whatever. And so really, like any prediction, anything could happen. I mean, we were kind of getting that with time travel, and now we have multiverse travel. So, woo, here we go. I don't think this was a bad movie though, right? Like I enjoyed it. It was enjoyable. I don't know how
I would
much my
say-
dad would enjoy it.
Yeah, no. I would say the only real big contribution to the overall MCU would be powered up Doctor Strange and maybe even a little bit corrupt. And they have set rules for the multiverse. So it's like, okay, now we have rules. We didn't have rules before. We didn't really know how it worked. Now we know how it works. Dreaming is you in another multiverse. Okay. That's a rule now. So whenever dreaming
Uh-huh.
comes up in the MCU, it's going to be a thing.
the plane of Bast is a multiversal place where the
Plane
Black
of-
Panthers go to talk to the dead.
No, that's an afterlife. Which is
But
different
it's-
than the realms, which is different than Dream World, which is different than
I
hell,
thought it
which
was
they're
a
gonna
dream
also bring in.
state. They don't go into a dream state when they drink the plant. You're saying they literally teleport when they drink the plant?
Like to a heaven, yeah.
See, I always took that as a dream.
Well, I mean, just Tarwit like confirmed it. Oh, I've been to other afterlives. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you seen this place? So it's like it must be an afterlife, unless
Yeah.
an afterlife is a dream state, right? But those rules,
Uh-huh.
like they'll set those rules up in the MCU. I don't know how it works in the comics.
Which I guess
but...
an afterlife would be another universe, right? Like it's not.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
on Earth,
I don't know.
it's
I don't know if you were around when I said this, but I really liked the idea of everybody's afterlife in the MCU. The reason that so many gods can exist is because there's so many beliefs in this MCU, and so
it's-
when you die, it's pretty much just neurons firing, right? And you're just kind of making up whatever, right?
It's
That's what I really
supernatural.
liked. I don't remember that one.
Supernatural's afterlife is you go to the heaven you believe in.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. It's just straight that. If you believed you're Buddhist, you'd go to the Buddhist afterlife. Christian afterlife. You didn't believe in a god, you went to whatever you thought the afterlife was. Yeah.
Okay. What if I change, like, after knowing that, what if I then change my afterlife?
Yeah, it happens in Supernatural. It changes.
Oh, okay.
Man, that show. Anywho, side tangent. Real interesting to see where they go with multiverse.
So then, hold on. So then did Dean and Sam, yeah, sorry. I'm
They
gonna get this back.
go ahead.
Did Dean and Sam then go on, like, the news and shit and say, yo, all you
No.
people who are probably going to hell, don't
Just-
stop. Just, we've seen it. Like, you know what I
Oh,
mean? Like,
You
they
still
don't
had to be
save people.
no. You still had to be good to go to the afterlife of like heaven, right? Like
Yeah, I mean, like,
they were still
Christians.
being sent to hell.
Christians or Muslims, right? So
Uh-huh.
if they if a Christian, right? Let's say let's say Catholic. Let's say a Catholic priest who touches kids.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to hell.
Yes. He going
Okay.
down to be with Crowley. You still
Alright,
had to be
now-
good inside of your parameters.
Okay, in the Catholic, let's say you're a gay Catholic.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Where are
You're
we
going to hell.
Inside of that religion's parameter. Uh-huh.
So Sean and Dean, or Sam and Dean don't, Moose and Dean
What
don't,
the hell are we talking about?
Moose and
What-
Dean don't go on TV and warn people.
Now, why would they?
I feel
That's
like
not
that
their
would be
job.
important.
Their job is
Oh,
to
yeah, I
hunt
guess they're gonna
monsters.
kill
Are we,
monsters.
Yeah,
and
is it
bring them back in.
supernatural right now?
We sure are.
Well,
Because I
shit.
brought up that, like, in Supernatural, the afterlife, the heaven, is what you want it to be. And that's kind of what Derek was saying these other afterlives inside the MCU are like. That's how we got to Supernatural, if you're confused.
I guess they couldn't do that because then 6 of the 7.8 or 8.2 billion people on this planet would kill themselves. Because then you would believe, if they said that secret, they probably learned it from a god or an angel or something. If they learn that secret, then and they tell everybody, then everybody's just gonna go, oh, well then I don't believe any of that. I'll believe that I'm gonna be on a beach forever. Just like the Field of Reeds, just instant bliss forever. I'm not worried about anything. And I can kill myself because that's what I believe, and then they'll just do it. We got onto this tangent because it's silly and ridiculous and overreaching. And now I see why.
Multiverse.
Yeah, multiverse. Yeah. So
Whee! We're not in reality anymore, folks, which I don't think we ever were in the MCU, but older MCU was way easier to believe than where we are now. I'd say Guardians is what blew the lid off of, ooh, you have to use a little bit more imagination once we started going through universe travel, space travel. Now we're going from other reality travel and time travel? Okay.
we're just
Yeah,
human.
we're in mysticism now.
Travel.
Yeah. You're pretty soon it's gonna be we travel in between the space of multiverses time.
We already saw that in this.
In
one
between
movie, didn't we?
seconds.
Multiverse.
Yeah, we got to
Isn't
go
that
in
this
between the
movie?
space, in between space. Oh boy.
Isn't that where the book was?
I don't know. It was in Doctor Strange's
It was like in the
secret
area
cabinet.
between areas.
Yeah. I thought it was the central hub of all the multiverses, but
No, the book is in. Yes, the book is in the central hub of the multiverse
yeah.
because the Illuminati put it there or something.
Yeah, that's where he deemed it to go.
But if
I
they
think
could
Doctor
do
Strange
that,
created it.
if they could do that, why wouldn't they? Why would they kill Doctor? The
Because
only person who could go get that super duper
he
good weapon.
is Doctor Strange.
They locked it up and then they killed the dude with the key.
Yeah. So that it can never be used again. But it's a good thing. Wait a minute.
I just think those other worlds are really dumb. Except for Christine, she was very, very smart and very, very attractive.
Rachel McAdams is always great.
Except she sucked at her job.
did
Her job was to study other multiverses. And the Scarlet Witch is created, and she's like, nah, screw this Doctor Strange that came to my reality to tell me to be careful. He's a dick.
I just think
F
she'll be
minus,
back.
you're fired.
I think 616 Christine is gone. She's not going to come back because she's happily married. She's just going to live. And then we're going to see this smart scientist, Christine, help out the Avengers. I would say that she's on the fast track of staying in the MCU movies, like the Avengers movies.
He has the third eye.
Yeah, it looked weird.
It did.
We
look
gonna see
weird.
him with the third eye now?
Yep. That was pretty clear with the mid credit. I don't fear
Was-
anything. Bleep. Okay. So if he's scared, that eye closes, I guess? I don't know.
I think the necromancy part was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah, but that's what I was talking about in non-spoilery, is that Raimi's makeup I don't like. I did not like. It's not MCU. I need, especially when all of the movie is fucking CGI and it's all on that soundstage, and you can tell. It's like the complaint from Halo, which I agreed with, which was the minecart thing on that rubble planet.
Whee!
That's what it feels like, but just with big, massive CGI screens everywhere. And that's all I see now. I cannot. It's like I never feel, almost never, I'll say, almost never feel like they're in an actual location. They're just on a set in Disney. That's how it feels, and it's all CGI, and it's just draining me. It's draining.
Well, you can't. I don't think you can. I don't think you can relate with it because it's a multiverse. Like I don't think the MCU is going to be quite as relatable. I think human emotions, like Wanda wanting to have children, is going to be relatable. But as far as like putting yourself in
Yeah.
the world, whoa! Did you ever feel that way in Guardians? Like, did you ever
The first one?
any of the Guardians of the Galaxies? Right? Did you have the similar feeling of, oh, I'm just watching people on a stage, or did you actually feel like you were there?
Right, yeah, no, I felt like it was all CGI then too.
Yeah.
What about Avatar?
That's
Yeah,
ugh,
I didn't like
I
it.
cannot
Like,
believe they made a second one.
I'm not a big fan of cartoons. Like, I would much prefer like what Halo is doing. I would much prefer silly, goofy, overly large prosthetic looking stuff.
Am I the only person on this planet that's actually looking forward to that movie?
Which one?
Avatar.
Out of us,
Maybe, yeah, definitely from us. I don't know.
I already saw Pocahontas. I don't need to see Pocahontas too.
I didn't even want to watch Avatar.
I liked it.
Yeah, well, I just
Each their.
I didn't connect with the blue hair sex things. It was weird. I don't know.
You need to just get on some mushrooms, Derek, and rewatch it.
One day,
That,
rewatch it. I don't know if it'll
have
make
you
it
never
better.
seen it?
No, I've seen it. What I mean is,
Okay.
like, I don't like. I did not like it to the point where I don't ever see myself watching it again. Oh,
And that's Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, yeah. Final rating.
Let me look. Where did I?
You said 6.1, Derek?
No. I think I had 6.8. It was it's more entertaining to me than Morbius and Scream, but less entertaining than Cyrano, Doctor Strange the original, and the very macho homoerotic Top Gun, which were all 7s. So 6.8.
I'm surprised you didn't bring. Oh, I'll wait for my.
Mikey?
From what I've heard, Everything Everywhere All at Once does this movie just way better.
I was gonna pimp it earlier, but yeah, go see that movie, please. It's really, really good.
I haven't seen it yet. It's probably what I'll watch next. But talking it over, thinking about it, I still think this is an enjoyable movie. I liked it. I'd watch it again, just like I watched the first Doctor Strange again, and would probably get something new out of it. At least this one has stuff to look for. Like I feel like rewatching, you could get hidden pieces of information here and there and notice Easter eggs. Anywho, I would give it. I said 8. I think I'm gonna go with a 7. I think it's pretty solid 7 out of 10.
I'm right there too. I was thinking about it. It's either a 6 or a 7, only because it wasn't very eventful. Like, what did we get from this movie other than now he has a third eye and
Hamill.
Wanda might be dead?
You got America Chavez with the power to punch stars through the multiverse.
Honestly, without that Illuminati scene, I think I would have given this movie like a 5. That Illuminati scene was really fun. I like where they're going. But
to me, the Illuminati thing was like the part, like I liked it, but it's like bells and whistles. It's like, but you're not the main. You're not Doctor Strange though.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It was. I mean, I guess it kind of tied in, but yeah, it felt more like. Damn, the fans are gonna be mad if we don't like give them a surprise. Let's try to write in a surprise.
Well, it's the multiverse of madness. They have to do something.
Well, they don't have to do like John Krasinski as Reed Richards, right? No. Like that's big, that's huge, that's massive.
But I mean, yeah.
I feel like they feel like they have to do that every movie now because I feel like it's a bit of a crutch for MCU. Every movie I'm expecting some kind of big cameo or whatever. Even in the shows, like in Moon Knight, you were saying that you were expecting a big cameo.
Yeah, but even still, if there's any movie that should do it, I would say it would be this one.
I agree with that. Mm-hmm. But it's not, so I guess 3 more years.
I honestly am shocked. Like I thought we were gonna get X-Men for sure from this movie.
Well, we did. So yeah, I would say that we did. Like same with Fantastic Four. Like this confirms to me.
Open the doors.
Again, like TV and movies typically will not show you. The Star Wars is the big thing that I'm referencing when they actually did this, but they will not say something about something and then not pay that off. Like usually they write it because there's a payoff. The thing in the Star Wars I'm thinking of is Kylo Ren's like Shadow Guard. They just kind of had to lazily address it at the very end.
This would be a whole nother side. The Moff's talk with Rey and that lightsaber. Yeah. Anyway. Yep.
Anyway.
I just wish we had more to talk about with this movie. I think that's why I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, just not much to talk about.
It's a good side story.
Yeah,
it has a giant bar.
It just shouldn't have been a side story. This should have really been like, hey, here we go. Phase 4, baby. I think Loki did better than this movie.
I think this did the same thing as Loki. It just didn't do it in the way that we wanted it to. America Chavez is huge. The implications with her is unlimited.
I guess
so yeah, the next movie she could just be the main star and poop, and now we're in any multiverse we want. With Loki, what I was getting at is like he breaks the time continuum, and now any of those, what were they called? Variants, timelines could be any story, right? Like that's where we're at.
Why did the time police show up?
Because they don't exist.
Time is a flat circle, which means if something doesn't happen, it's because something else was happening. So it's probably because they were dealing with all of those weird, wild branches going on. And every movie we're seeing is one of those weird, wild branches.
Yeah.
Like they could write that easily. Like they could write it away. It's kind of a built-in excuse, like Doctor
I
Who.
accept your answer.
Yeah.
Hey, Peggy Carter got cut in half. That's cool. I really did not
Hey,
like her.
actually,
What if?
I'll talk about them because that was to me was a standout. Even though it was bells and whistles, I was like, awesome. Give me this superhero who, if he talks too loudly, he kills people. Like that's pretty badass. That's why he does sign
That
language.
felt like
That's
James
cool.
Gunn, dude.
It was brutal. It was crazy. It's like, oh shit, I kind of want to see an Illuminati built because now our Strange can go into the third and probably form the Illuminati, with 616 characters, right? Depending upon what happens.
How do you think he found out about his power? Welcome to McDonald's. What can I get you? I'll take a number. Killed everyone.
Adam?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. I don't know. I
Is
don't know.
he the Aquaman of Marvel?
No, he does not live
No, that's
underwater.
Namor.
Okay.
Yeah, you're thinking about Namor.
He
What a
legit is
dumb
just
character to put on the Illuminati.
he's super powerful.
He talk.
Well,
He
no,
says
he's
2
the
words
leader.
and
Sorry, this is just comic book knowledge. He's the leader of the Inhumans, which is like a.
he's not
It's
Iron
so
Fist
hard.
and
I feel like I'm doing
Luke
the Halo
Cage.
defense thing now. All right, in the comics, there's like different like areas of comics, right? There's the Spider-Man, the Iron Man, the typical, like whatever. Then there's like the Inhumans, who are kind of like the gross mutants, but they're like, I don't know. They're kind of like, oh god, it's so hard to explain. Anyway,
Yeah,
there's
they're
just
not-
different. There's different comics.
they're a different faction.
Represents in at the time in the comics they wanted to merge all of these. Think of CW projects, how every year they do like a big long string of episodes that are all one storyline. That's what they did with the Illuminati storyline in the comic books. It's not what they're doing here, but that's what they did in the comic books because typically people who read the Inhuman stuff was like a different community than the people who read the typical Iron Man stuff. So they brought all those X-Men and Iron Man and all that stuff together into the Illuminati to deal with big things like Thanos or Kang or whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nerd. Just kidding.
His superpower.
I didn't even read that shit.
He says 2 words and he obliterates a Doctor Strange.
And it was I'm sorry too.
I'm
That's what I mean.
sorry,
Like some of the writing in this was so good. I love the line, you break the rules and you become the hero. I break the rules and I'm a villain. That doesn't seem very fair. Like she had so many great one-liners in this. It'll never happen, but I would love to see her get some nomination for being Wanda because she fucking killed it last year. She killed it this time again, and she killed a lot of other people and things too. So I love Wanda a lot, and honestly, this felt like Wanda's Infinity War to me, and I loved it. I loved that aspect of it. I just wish it was through a normal MCU film than the Raimi horror experiment that we did.
I thought it was refreshing. I didn't mind it. I just wish that they would have gone full Raimi.
They should have done that.
Never go full Raimi.
Okay.
Didn't Raimi do Spider-Man 3? Like all of the first Spider-Man?
I think he did all 3.
Yeah.
You don't like any of those movies?
No, I do. I'm just connecting
think
dots.
they
That's
fit
all. That's all.
In MCU, like I didn't laugh in those movies. Those movies weren't very funny. Like the comedy was really like cringe and like early 2000s superhero. The MCU comedy is kind of like a feature of a movie, and in this one, I don't think I've laughed hardly ever. Like there was very, very, very few funny lines.
Yeah.
And
There's
that's
cringe
not,
laughing.
That's not. Yeah, there was cringe laughing, and there's. I don't know. It was weird. Just odd, different lens, different view.
Okay, well, I think that really wraps up how we feel about the movie. Leave a comment. Tell us what you guys thought. And,